Get ready. Get set. It's time for the basement view. Well, good evening. How's everybody doing? Man, glad to be here this evening. Not that cold outside, thank goodness. It's February the 3rd. Got to get through this one. Man, got to get through it. Get through this one, we'll be on the other side. Now, I know March don't come in and just make it warm, but at least we'll be in March. Man, I gotta say, today has been different. Today has been really different. Apparently, we either are or aren't in a trade war. A tariff war. I don't know. The last I heard, the tariffs on Mexico and Canada have been paused. By the way, subscribe and hit that thumbs up and get that algorithm working. So today, Trump put a pause, whatever that means, on the tariffs that he put on Canada and Mexico, because Canada and Mexico agreed to put soldiers on their sides of the border. Now, Trump has made this crazy claim about Mexico and Canada helping bring drugs in. Well, we all know that's not the truth. We all know that. So anyway, we either are or aren't in a tariff war. I saw a video of Canadian store owners or employees taking American products off the shelves. I think that Mr. Trump may underestimate some of our neighbors. See, he seems to think he can just be brutal. Hey, Lisa, how you doing? This is going to be a hell of a 4 years. You're absolutely right, sister. You're absolutely right. On the other side of that, Mr. Musk has actually gone and, from what I get, him and some henchmen broke into the offices of USAID and told people that they was fired. And also gained access to the Treasury payment system. Hey, Charles, what's up, man? What's up, James? I don't know how this guy was allowed to get access to the United States Treasury's payment system. Now, understand, none of these people with Mr. Musk, including Mr. Musk, have been through any kind of security check. They've done no security check on Musk or any of his people. And they have access to the United States Treasury's payment system. Hey, Carmen. This is going to be bad. This is going to be really bad. because our friends on Capitol Hill are silent. There's, crickets. Hey, Elise. These people are silent. Say, America voted for that. Yeah, James, they did. They voted for that. Project 2025. But you got a guy that was not elected to anything. Apparently, on some planet somewhere, the president can just give a guy off the street access to the United States Treasury payment system. Him and people that we know nothing about. We know zero about Elon Musk's employees or partners or whoever these other people are that's with him. Who knows who they are? They haven't been checked for anything. Seeing is believing. You ain't lying, brother. It's about to get crazy as hell. I did manage to catch a conversation with a gentleman by the name of Chris Hedges, and it's pretty spot on. I'm gonna play a couple of excerpts from that. It's pretty spot on. This is about to get crazy because we have Congress people that are doing nothing, while this guy's just doing everything. Hey, Ronnie. About? I don't know what you mean. This, and by the way, you noticed all of the, last week with all the DEI stuff. Yeah, already cray. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, full government takeover. That's what it is. Do I think the MAGA idiots really want this? You know what? I think they do. Understand what you just said. MAGA idiots. Yes, I think this is what they want. I think they're sitting back clapping because they want the walls to crumble down. I think that's what they want. Matter of fact, I'm afraid to say that's probably what needs to happen. America is broken. I think at this point, it's broken beyond repair. It's going to have to be torn down. And I think it's about to be. And as I was getting ready to say about last week, with all the DEI talk last week, all the companies going back on their DEI commitments, Trump screaming DEI took airplanes out of the sky. DEI caused the fire out in LA, all those fires. Remember, a couple months back, I told you to watch out for the newest boogeyman. There you have it. That was the latest boogeyman. Okay? That was the latest boogeyman. And notice how DEI took on a whole new identity. DEI became about black people, you know. DEI just simply became all about black people somehow. They needed another boogeyman while this guy gets to work. So they threw that boogeyman out there while behind the scenes, he was back there coming up with crazy stuff like tariffs on our trading partners. Who, Elon? These guys intend to take an axe to the government. That's the intention. They intend to just destroy it. And I think the people who voted them in think that's funny. See? Hey, what's going on, G? I think these people, they think destroying the government is going to be a good thing. They think tyranny is good. And I don't know how to put this. The unfortunate thing is that's probably the only way America will ever get fixed. Because what they've done is turned over complete control to the richest, greediest, maniacal group of people that you could ever imagine. See, that's the problem. They want chaos so bad that these people were their choice. I'm surprised I haven't seen Steve Bannon somewhere flying around on Air Force Two. You know, I'm surprised he ain't showed up and decided that shit belonged to him. Do I think the 401ks and money in the bank are safe? Personally, one thing is going to happen. I don't know if you noticed it today, but the beginning of trading today, the market nosedived. It nosedived big time, about 600 points at one shot. The market hates uncertainty. It hates it. Okay? When you see something like that, what you are seeing is algorithms firing. A lot of these big traders, they use an algorithm to trade. And that algorithm will pick up signals in the market. It's different ones are tuned to pick up different market signals. Okay? And a lot of times, something like above average movement in one kind of stock. Let's say a company like U.S. Steel. If U.S. Steel on a typical day have 1 million shares trading back and forth, and all of a sudden, this particular day, 3 million shares traded, that's going to trigger somebody's algorithm to do something. It's either going to buy or sell. Well, today, that happened. And typically, when that happens, that also triggers some people's algorithms to buy stock. And yes, today was a good day to buy. That's called buying the dip. If you see a particular stock that you are following on a day like this go down really substantially, that's a good time to buy more of it. Now, understand something. That is for traders. I am not a stock trader. Okay. I have traded stock before, but that's not my main thing. If you are a stock trader, days like this are for you. I buy stock that pay you to hold it. If you look at the stock that I buy, it may have went down 5 cents, maybe 10 cents, and then came back up. The stock that I buy does not make big swings, okay? The stock that I buy typically trades in a flat line. Either go up some, maybe down some. Usually, for the most part, goes up. The only time the stuff I buy really goes down is during times of high interest rates. And right now, we're in times of high interest rates. And Trump is supposed to be good for interest rates. So if they go down, that'd be good. He's going to put somebody in the Fed position, and they're going to start fumbling around with it. So, but understand something. The stock market is going to take some hits. Banks should be okay. 401ks, they're going to dance around some. Okay? But understand something. Remember, every time there was a downturn in your 401k, it came back. Now, this is also why you should be diversified in your 401k. Have a good chunk of it in the money market side of it. And then the rest, I tell you what, I would put the rest in the income producing stuff in the 401k. Understand something. Throughout whatever happens, throughout this whole thing, you want to be producing income for yourself. That's what you want to do. Okay? So, that's it. It's going to be shaky. It's going to be really shaky. Because they're taking a sledgehammer to the government. And, that's one of those who knows situations. They hell bent on just doing shit. They're not going to do this in a slow, steady manner. They're just taking sledgehammers to it. You go in and you fire a whole department. That's not the way to do anything. Put tariffs on everybody. It's not the way to do anything. For instance, the Canadians announced that the tariffs that they put in place are going to be concentrated on the products that they get from red states. Now, I never thought of that. But the Canadians have. And they intend to inflict damage on the red states because that's who put Donald Trump in. So, I think some of them are gonna fuck around and find out. So anyway, I want y'all to hear from this gentleman, Mr. Chris Hedges, speaking about where we are right now. Take a moment, listen to this. It is interesting.
One of the things you just talked about was an out-of-touch elite. We're certainly seeing a growing concentration of wealth and political power among a very small group of people. I think most notably of the fact that Trump has assembled the richest set of advisors and cabinet members in American history. They're worth a collective $450 billion. And of course, there's increased corporate influence and billionaire influence over the Democrats, the Republicans, over the whole political scene. How much of that context is important for understanding the future of American democracy? Is American democracy under threat because of this stuff?
Under threat? Does it exist, Mark? I don't think it exists. It's a veneer. It's the end of the Roman Empire. You have the symbols, the iconography, and the language of a democracy, but internally, corporations and oligarchs have seized all of the levers of power. I looked at this election as a battle between corporatists and oligarchs. Corporatists, the Democrats, they want something very different from oligarchs. Corporatists want stability, they want decorum, the kind of decorum that Obama had or Bush had, or Bush was an idiot, but at least he had some, they could clean him up a little bit. And Biden, whatever his cognitive failings were, because they want stability, especially in terms of trade agreements, because they make investments overseas. Takes a while for a return on a profit. Corporatists want something different from oligarchs. Oligarchs are about chaos. They're about, as Steve Bannon said, deconstructing the administrative state. Why? Because it is a pure form of rentier capitalism. And by that I mean that they make their money by setting up toll booths, Amazon, all of these digital media platforms. It's not about producing goods. And the more that the state is deconstructed, that's why they want to abolish the Department of Education. Everything that we need as a civil society becomes privatized. And you see it in, I wrote a book called America, the Farewell Tour. It begins in Scranton, Pennsylvania, where everything, the sewer system's privatized, the parking authority is privatized, the electricity is privatized, and of course they've jacked up the rates. And the services are not very good. And they want to privatize the post office so we can have a dysfunctional post office like the UK, which is privatized. And so that's what oligarchs want. And the oligarchs have won. They won. And but that's what this battle was about in terms of if we strip away its the kind of trivia or the cultural differences between the two parties. That at its core was what it's about. And so we have, as you point out, we have now an oligarchic system. But as Aristotle wrote, once you create an oligarchic system with those kinds of inequities, then your only two choices are tyranny or revolution. Mm-hmm.
Well, the only two choices are tyranny and revolution. So I think we're going to get a taste of the tyranny. I think what we're witnessing, let's face it, we got a guy that has zero accountability walking around into government offices and telling people they're fired. Okay? They gave him access to the Treasury Department payroll system. And I don't see anybody in an uproar. I got a feeling one thing we're going to hear pop up, the filibuster. I got a feeling you're going to hear the filibuster being done with. I bet the Republicans are going to get rid of the filibuster. When you hear that, it's it. We over. When you hear that, when you hear them say they're getting rid of the filibuster, you can cancel Christmas. Okay? That's all I'm waiting on. I hope I don't hear that. I hope I don't hear it, because that's the only tool left that the Democrats have, short of just getting up and walking across the room and jacking a motherfucker up. You praying Jesus returns? Sister? I hope something happens, but not that. Explain filibuster. Okay. The filibuster traditionally was a tool that the minority in the Senate could use to delay a item coming to the floor. It has been grossly misused and evolved into a blanket. I don't want that bill to come to the floor, or I don't want something on the floor. Okay. And traditionally, both sides have agreed to keep that tool in place. When the Democrats are in power, they allow the Republicans in the minority to use a filibuster to keep any bill they don't like from coming to the floor. I remember during Obama's term, Mitch McConnell and the Republicans used over 300 filibusters. They filibustered over 300 times in order to keep Obama from getting to pass any laws. Okay? I tell you how rotten the Republicans are. And I think they're probably going to do away with it. But Mitch McConnell was so rotten that he took his own bill off the floor. He literally wrote a bill. He and the Republicans wrote a bill, put it on the floor, and a reporter asked Obama if he thought he would sign that bill. And Obama said, yeah, it looks like common sense stuff to me. I'd probably sign it. In order to keep Obama from getting a good mark on his record, Mitch McConnell filibustered his own bill to get it off the floor, just so Obama could not sign anything in the law. That's how bad they are. So, up to now, both parties have kept the filibuster. It used to be, back in the day, if you filibustered something, you had to literally get up and talk for hours and hours and hours and hours and hours. Now, you can phone one in from the barbershop. So, I'm expecting to hear the Republicans get rid of the filibuster. Now, I also heard the Democrats plan to blanket deny all of his cabinet picks at this point. I don't know if that's going to help. I don't know how many. I don't know if you have to have 60 votes for a cabinet pick or not. I'm gonna have to look into that. And if you do, I think as a matter of fact, you just have to have 50. Yeah, you just have to have 50 to get a cabinet pick in. Because, as a matter of fact, a few Republicans did not vote for Hegseth, and the vice president had to cast the tying vote, the 50th vote. So you just need, oh, no, the 51st vote. You need 50 plus 1. And the vice president cast the 51st vote. As you know, the vice president is also considered the president of the Senate when a tie has to be broken. Okay, so anyway, that's what I'm looking to hear. And if we don't hear that, we may be okay. But I don't see the Democrats screaming. I mean, I would expect people to be running around with their hair on fire, you know, with people running around in the offices of government that haven't had any security clearances or anything like that. That's crazy. And scary. And if Elon Musk can just walk into any government office and say, okay, all of you all are fired, and Trump just fired a bunch of the top FBI people and Justice Department lawyers he's gotten rid of, man, what's next? Let's have another word from Mr. Hedges, because he's kind of spot on this stuff. Maybe they're strategizing. You know what, Ronnie? I hope that's right. You're probably right. I mean, okay, when I say doing nothing, I mean using the bully pulpit that you have. If I were a senator or representative, I would like to think I would be out grabbing every outlet I can. I would put my face everywhere to alarm the people. That's the problem. There's no alarm. They're scared of retaliation. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would be, I would be trying to make the case to the American people, hey, goddammit, get your head out of y'all asses and come out of the house. Put the phone down. Look what's going on. Because guess what? It won't be long before they do something. Okay, imagine if what old Trump did last week with that funding situation was not able to be retracted. Imagine one of these fools in there punching the buttons and punched the wrong button on the computer. Okay? We got a lot of people that don't know what they're doing, running around doing shit. I tell you what, there's been marches starting. As a matter of fact, I'll probably do that Wednesday. Their Latins around the country have started marching in solidarity for the immigration situation, the ICE situation. I think today they marched in Chicago. Yesterday, I believe, they had one in LA. I'm going to put something together and about that. But that is where we need to be right about now. You know, we really need to, this is one of those hair on fire situations, okay? Yeah, Day Without Immigrants, that's what it is, yeah. That's what's the name of it, yep. Unfortunately, it's gonna have to be broken. Let's hear from Mr. Hedges and get some more of his wisdom or opinion.
Question. Given what we're facing, are traditional forms of protest or dissent enough? Or does the scale of the crisis, the intensity of the suffering people are experiencing right now, does it demand a more radical response than what we've traditionally done?
Yeah, it demands a more radical response because we have to destroy the system. We have to destroy the ruling class. And the only mechanism we have to destroy the ruling class is by disrupting economic, social, and political life. That comes through mass mobilization, primarily through labor and especially through the strike. We have to rebuild militant labor movements that shut the country down. That's the only way out of this. And the oligarchs have understood this for a long time. It's why they have made war against organized labor for a long time. Only 11% of the U.S. Workforce is unionized, but we have to regain that militancy. We have to understand who our enemy is, and that if we don't break the back of that enemy, things are going to get worse and worse and worse. And we have to understand the only power we have is collective, and it will require sacrifice. And I mean, we had the bloodiest labor wars of any industrialized country. Hundreds of American workers were killed. Thousands, probably tens of thousands, were blacklisted. Joe Hill, you know all this. We got to look back because the capitalist class, they're going to use every vicious mechanism they have because it's all. And you saw the way they essentially made it impossible for Bernie. Without that corporate money, Bernie Sanders would have run against Trump the first time around, and I believe he would have won. But they destroyed it. They destroyed that possibility. So
are you hopeful that we're close to that moment? Are we on the precipice of a radical moment of resistance? Are we on the verge of toppling power?
No, because the left has been so decimated. So we don't have the left we have in the 30s. Europe went one way, fascist. We went another way, which was quasi-socialist. But our left has been so decimated and destroyed, I fear, that we don't have the forces of resistance that can create the kind of space and social equality and liberty that should be fundamental to an open society. So no, I'm actually very pessimistic. However, that's where I fall back on my religious tradition, where it doesn't matter. I mean, you come out of the Black prophetic tradition. Boy, if anybody understood the world around them and the forces against them, it was the Black America and the Black prophetic tradition, but they fought anyway. And they fought anyway because it wasn't finally what they achieved empirically. It was who they were. It was their own dignity. And we have to protect our own dignity. The soul is real. And if we don't stand up against these rapacious forces of radical evil, our soul will die.
Well, I can't agree more. We don't have the fire. We do not have the resistance. There has to be a resistance. Like I always mention, people that know me know I always mention the French. Because the French do one thing very, very well. And for those of you that don't know, in most of Europe, You have to be in a union to work. You cannot get a job without being in a union. That's how strongly they feel about the unions. Okay? Only in America can you imagine being in a union and having people inside the union tearing the union down. I got to tell you, saw it every day in the union. People that are in the union, part of the union, just ripping the shit out of the union. Hey, you idiot, you're the union. You know, oh, they ain't doing shit, blah, blah, blah. I tell you what, for every person out there that can yell and scream about what the union don't do, understand one thing, the union does do. The union and that contract that the union negotiated for you does not allow that man to walk down the steps, walk up to your face, and say, you're fired. That's why Trump and the fellas hate unions. He can't walk up to you and say, you're fired. That's what the union does. Okay? So when you're wondering about the union and why should we get a union? We don't need no union. We got a good thing going here. Yeah, well, that man can walk up to you at any time and say, get the hell out of here. My nephew need a job. Bye. When you're in the union, he can't do that. So if there's one thing that you should thank your lucky stars about if you're in a union, thank him for that. Okay? So, hey, Elisa, yeah, I know you see it every day. So, in most of Europe, that's how strongly they feel about the union. You can't get a job unless you're in a union. And trust me, the people in France, they will shut that motherfucker down. I mean, and I love it. Their government does goofy shit. Now, Europe has its share of oligarchs, okay? They got filthy rich people in Europe. They do have rules that cut your wealth off at certain levels, though. They don't have $450 billion people walking around in Europe, okay? Only here do we allow that kind of craziness. 450,000 million. Why don't you just give it all to them? Give them everything. Here, take all the houses, the cars, all the food, take it all. And see, that's the attitude of the French. That's their attitude. Oh, you want more? You can have it all. Here, take my car. They'll get out of their car in the middle of the street and walk away. Here, take it. Want the house? Take it. I'm going down to the park. They will just go down to the park, go get their family, go down to the park, have some sandwiches, and just sit there. And there will be cars, buses, trains, trucks, boats, just sitting all over the country with nothing moving. And the government will say, hey, sorry about that idea. It was a bad idea. Y'all gonna go back to work. We're not gonna do that. And they'll say, okay, all right, we're going back to work then. That's how they do it. We need that fire. We need that fire. You know, if we don't find it, you see which way we're going. We need that fire. Somebody gotta run out there and wave the torch. Somebody got to start waving the torch. And I was thinking, has anybody ever wondered why so many years after Martin Luther King was killed, there's been nobody else to rise up and take a black leadership position? You know, a black civil rights leader. There's been no single black civil rights leader since King. Anybody ever wonder about that? I have. I'm still wondering. But anyway, somebody gonna have to do something, because I don't hear any screaming. I don't hear any screaming. You tell me. So anyway, what I'm going to do, I'm going to take one moment to show you all what I bought today, stock-wise. I'm gonna leave that other conversation on the table for now. I can't wait till tomorrow, because I want to see what is he going to do tomorrow. You know, it's got to be a point where there's just too much. So I'm getting to the point where I just want to see, okay, what are they going to do next? You know what? I ain't even gonna mention that. You nominate me. Well, you know what? If I thought that anybody would pay me any attention, I would do it. You know? If I thought anybody would pay me any attention. But you forgot, I used to be a union official, okay? And I would go into a room and I would tell people, okay, this is what we have to do if you want to get X, Y, and Z from the company. You want to get this outcome. You would not believe how fast them fools turned their back on me when that man walked in the door and said, hey, I want y'all to do this, and I ain't giving you nothing. Them fools turned their back on me and ran so fast, and I would be, wait a minute, I thought we was all together. No, it's me standing there. You know what? I've had my, you second that, Charles, really? I've had my taste of being the leader. Because usually when you're the leader, you usually don't get shot in the front. You get stabbed in the back. So, moving on from that though, just before I run out of this hour, I do want to put on the screen this stock that this trade that executed. Let me show this right here. Okay. as you can see, I'm going to make this a little bigger over here. It shows I got 10 shares. And it shows it's trading at about 0.1% up. As you can see, I also bought some crypto. And I bought 125 of this particular coin. And I bought that solely as a speculation play. Complete speculation. I don't know anything about it. It is a payment platform. It is a cryptocurrency with a payment platform. And it is a pick that came out of a group that AI gave me. I communicated with DeepSeek, and this was a suggestion from DeepSeek. So I bought that. Cost me about $45 because it is trading at about 37 cents. Okay. And these are not shares. You notice this says 10 shares. This is currency. So you're buying currency. So this currency costs 37 cents per coin. And I bought 125 coins at a cost of about $45, 44, $45. This is the 10 shares that I bought Friday. I put a buy order in, and it was after hours. I thought they were going to give me a limit order, and I'll explain limit orders later, but it gave me a market order first thing this morning. As you can see, at about 8:30 this morning, which is 9:30 New York time, that order executed. Okay, so, and all I have is $7.55 left. Okay, now if I click on this, it'll give me a quote. It'll give me a order ticket right here. Okay. It tells me the market value of my order. This is the market value of my order. This is what I paid. Okay. So, this is how it traded today. And here is this evening. There was some kind of dip a little while ago and back up. Don't know what happened. Wasn't paying no attention. But again, and these are the lists that I got. You'll see one says Jeff's list, Jeff's crypto, and here's the one. And for some reason, the crypto screen goes black. Don't know why. Got no idea why that screen does that. I'm going to have to figure that out. But as you can see, it's $46 now. That was the cost, 36 cents, basically 37 cents. So that's what that looks like. So now we are going to track these two over this next month, and we're going to see what happens. All right, so that's what we're going to do. The sky is the limit when you're a dictator and everybody kissing your ass and afraid of you. Okay. I guess I can go with that. Man. You know, unfortunately, this is where we find ourselves. And I kind of knew this was coming because the people that voted for this man, they're not thinking rationally. Every time you have a thought and you say, man, I wouldn't have never voted for this guy, or how could they vote for him? These people are not there. The light's on, but nobody home. Okay? And the good bulk of these people literally voted for this guy so he could do terrible shit to other people. If you're that kind of person that would vote for somebody just so that person can do terrible shit to other people, this is what you're going to get. So, here we have it. So, I can't wait. I cannot wait. The same goes for the people that vote. Ditto. The same goes for the people that didn't vote. Those, man, really? Didn't vote. My vote don't count. I don't get involved with that stuff. I'm not into politics. Man, fuck that. Can't wait. Now see, them also the people that won't be on the picket line. Them the people that will not be in the march. Okay? Them the people that's going to be somewhere sitting around with their thumb up their ass. Okay? So, excuse me. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people right now who regret their vote. So, we'll probably see some of them out on the march. Okay? Just like it's probably a lot of people right now regretting owning a Tesla. If you own a Tesla, you fool you. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there for today. We're going to follow that stock and see how that goes. And in the meantime, I'm gonna go out and see how many for sale signs I see on Teslas. If I see any Teslas on the lots, especially that ugly ass truck. Man, I can't think of an uglier vehicle. And you got these idiots out here proud to get in and out of that thing. Anyway, I'm out of here. I'll see y'all Wednesday, 7 p.m. And we'll see what happens between now and then. All right? Hey, y'all keep your eyes open. Keep your head on a swivel. Okay? All right. Take it easy.